Hello, nerdy novelists. Two big pieces of news that came out back to back, and so I thought I would just cover them both in one video. The first is that Findaway Voices, which if you're not familiar with Findaway Voices, they are a important distributor of audiobooks that was acquired about a year ago by Spotify. They just announced that they are now going to be distributing audiobooks with digital voice narration. Kind of. So let's break down this announcement a little bit. They say Findaway Voices by Spotify has begun accepting digital voice narrated audiobooks from Google Play Books for distribution to select retail partners. Now, it doesn't say which retail partners here, but shout out to Monica Leonel on Facebook, who was able to find this screenshot of all of the partners that have agreed to distribute AI audiobooks from Google Play Books, which includes Apple and audiobooks.com and Kobo and Barnes & Noble and Spotify, Baker & Taylor, Bibliotheca, and Overdrive. All right, which are pretty much all of the biggest distributors except notably Audible. It should come as no surprise that Audible is not included on this list, as they just recently announced their own initiative to create AI audiobooks. So they probably don't see this as something that they need to participate in. But the fact that we have Apple and Barnes & Noble and Kobo and Spotify on here is a pretty big deal. Now, let's talk a little bit about this. They say we can now distribute to Google Play or distribute Google Play Books auto-narrated audiobooks with Findaway Voices. Historically, Findaway Voices has not allowed AI audiobooks on their platform, so this is a pretty big news. But however, this is currently only the audiobooks that are produced with Google Play Books, which has been a service that has been available for a little while. And honestly, I tried it. The books are not that great. And so there's no mention in here about whether we will be able to release other AI generated books from, say, 11 Labs. But I have a feeling that this announcement is just step one for them, that they are testing things out. Google Play Books is probably a trusted partner, and people like Apple and Barnes & Noble and Kobo were probably more likely to agree to this distribution deal if it was through the Google Play Books. They are probably less certain about other players like 11 Labs or Play.ht or any of the others out there that do a decent job with audio. However, I think it's just a matter of time. All it takes is one player to say yes, and that will probably start a domino effect. And if this is well received enough and if it works well enough for all of these partners, I think it's a matter of time before we see the doors opening up for 11 Labs and other AI producers as well. Now, the other big news item that I wanted to talk about today is Claude. So recently we had Claude 2.1 come out, and it was a kind of a mess from an author standpoint. Those of us who are writers were finding it very difficult to write creatively using Claude 2.1 like we had been able to do with Claude 2.0. Well, recently they created a fix, or at least a step in the right direction to fix this. And we can see this it's a little bit hard to find, but the big thing is if you've already created a chat, you can go to that chat. And then over here in the top right corner, they have this icon here that says chat controls. You can click on that, and then you are actually able to select which model you want to use. So by default, it will be using Claude 2.1, but you can easily come in here and start using Claude 2.0, or you can even use Claude Instant, which is the model before Claude 2.0, which wasn't bad in its own right. It can't really handle the super prompts as well as 2.0 can. So for instance, if we wanted to select 2.0 and then do a super prompt, so for instance, I'll just paste in this super prompt here that I've used in the past from one of my books, and paste it, see what happens, and boom, it is started writing the chapter just like I want it to do, and it's done. It's doing a fairly good job here. So this is great because this means that if you subscribe to Claude You now have the same capabilities that we used to. You are not forced to use Claude 2.1. You can now change models. Now, I may be wrong about this, but I do believe this is probably a pro-only option. So if you do use the free version of Claude, let me know in the comments if you are able to change this here up in the corner once you start a new chat. Remember that in order to access this, you have to go into an existing chat. For some reason, there's no way to select which model you want here. You have to go to the existing chat and then come here and then select your model from here. So let me know if you're using the free version, if you are able to access that or not. But my guess is this is a pro-only option. And there you have it. Two very important pieces of news that are really big steps in the right direction for both Claude and for AI audiobooks. And let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next video.